My name is Robert Harris, Your Honor. And you, ma'am? My name is Christine Evans, Your Honor. All right, Mr. Harris. What is your claim today, Your Honor? I'm here because Miss Evans, she owes me $1,000 for a wedding cake. She never picked up a wedding cake. Is that right? And did you bake this cake, Mr. Harris? Yes, Your Honor. I am a professional baker. I specialize in wedding cakes. She came to me a few months ago. We talked. She showed me pictures. We decided on a three-tier cake with vanilla and lemon layers and a custom sugar flower design. The total cost was $1,500. She gave me a $500 deposit, and she was supposed to pay the rest when she picked it up. Miss Evans, is it true that you ordered this cake from Mr. Harris? Yes, Your Honor. I did. It was going to be for my wedding. But then, I called off the wedding a few days before. My fiancé, he left me for someone else. It was a terrible time. I was a wreck. I forgot all about the cake and the money. Mr. Harris, what happened to the cake? Well, Your Honor, I called her. I texted her. I left her messages. I told her the cake was ready. I needed her to pick it up. I had other orders. I had to get it out of my kitchen. She never responded, so I had to throw it away. A $1,500 cake, right into the garbage. All that work for nothing. Miss Evans, did Mr. Harris contact you? He might have, Your Honor. I don't remember. I was not in a good place. I was crying all the time. I was with my family. I was not looking at my phone. It was the last thing on my mind. My heart was broken. Mr. Harris, did you try to sell the cake to someone else? Your Honor, it was a custom cake with her initials and a specific design. It wasn't something I could just sell. I tried to offer it to some of my friends, but no one wanted a three-tier wedding cake with someone else's initials on it. It just wasn't possible. Miss Evans, do you understand that Mr. Harris spent time and money and effort creating a product for you? Yes, Your Honor, I do. But my circumstances, they changed. My wedding was canceled. I wasn't going to get married. Why would I need a wedding cake? And I don't have the money to pay for it. I lost my job too. It was a really bad time for me. This is a case of a contract. You, Miss Evans, entered into a contract with Mr. Harris. You ordered a custom product. You paid a deposit. You agreed to pay the balance. The fact that your personal life fell apart is tragic, and I sympathize with your situation. But it does not negate the contract you had with this man. He did his part. He baked the cake. He fulfilled his end of the bargain. You did not. The law does not allow you to walk away from a contract simply because your plans changed. You made a promise, a financial promise, and he held up his end. He lost his time. He lost his ingredients. And he lost his ability to sell that cake to anyone else because it was made specifically for you. Your argument that you were emotionally unavailable holds no water. You had a responsibility, a financial responsibility to this man. You should have at least responded to his messages or sent a friend or a family member to pick up the cake and to deal with this. You just ignored it. And in doing so, you created a loss for him, a financial loss. I find in favor of the plaintiff. Mr. Harris. Ms. Evans. You owe Mr. Harris $1,000. Case closed. My name is Leonard King, Your Honor. And you, ma'am? My name is Ashley Carter, Your Honor. All right, Mr. King. What is your claim today? Your Honor. I'm here because Ms. Carter. She owes me $2,200 for an apartment that I renovated for her. And she never paid. An apartment. And was this a professional renovation or a favor? I'm a professional contractor, Your Honor. I do this for a living. I met Miss Carter through a mutual friend. She wanted to renovate her living room and her kitchen. She said she wanted to sell the apartment and she needed to update it so it would sell for a good price. And did you have a written contract? No, Your Honor. We just had a verbal agreement. We discussed the work, the materials, and the cost. We agreed on $2,200, and I started the work. I trusted her. She was a friend of a friend. Miss Carter, what do you have to say about this? Did you hire Mr. King to renovate your apartment? Yes, Your Honor. I did. But the work, it was terrible. It was so bad. It wasn't worth $2,200. It wasn't worth anything. Terrible. In what way? What was so bad about the work? He painted the walls. But the lines, they're crooked. The color, it's not what I wanted. He put in new light fixtures, but they're not centered. And the floor, in the kitchen, he said he would put in new vinyl flooring. And he did. But it's all lumpy. It's not flat. It's horrible. I can't sell my apartment like that. I had to hire someone else to fix his mistakes. Mr. King, what is your response to this? Was the work substandard? No, Your Honor. That's not true. I did my best work. The lines, they're straight. The color, it's exactly what she picked out. She signed off on it. The flooring, it's flat. She's just trying to get out of paying me. She's just making excuses. Miss Carter, did you point out these issues to Mr. King while he was working? Yes, Your Honor. I did. I told him. The paint lines are not straight. The floor is not right. He just said, don't worry about it. It will be fine. It will look better when it's finished. It didn't look better. It looked worse. I couldn't get him to fix it. So I told him, I'm not paying you until you fix it. And he just left. He never came back. This is a classic case of he said, she said. And the reason you're here is because you didn't have a contract. A contract, a written contract, specifies the work to be done, the cost, the timeline, and the conditions for payment. If you had a contract, this would be a simple case. We will look at the contract, and we would see if the work was completed, and if it was completed to the specifications in the contract. But you don't have a contract. You have a verbal agreement and a bunch of conflicting stories. Mr. King, you took on a job without a contract. You started work without a deposit. You put in your time and your money based on a handshake. That was your mistake. You should know better. You are a professional, Miss Carter. You hired someone without a contract. You let him work in your home, and you're now claiming the work is bad. You should have stopped him. You should have had another professional come in and give you a second opinion. Before the work was completed, you had it to mitigate your damages. You failed to do so. You just let him work, and then you refused to pay. Now, I don't know who is telling the truth. I don't know if the work was terrible, or if you're just trying to get out of pain. What I do know is that Mr. King did some work, and you received some benefit from that work, even if it was substandard. He deserves to be paid for his time and for his materials. He put in his labor. He went to the store. He bought the paint. He bought the flooring. He deserves something. I find in favor of the plaintiff, Mr. King, for the reduced amount. Mr. King, I'm going to give you $1,200 for the work you did. That's half of what you were asking, because you didn't have a contract, and you took the risk. Miss Carter, you owe Mr. King $1,200 for the work he did on your apartment. Case closed.